Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the store my CD collection. This is part 126. Let's just get on with it. This is gonna be kind of like a short list of CDs I show. I do have more CDs, but I do want to I like to have it separate because I bought them. How I do is like when I buy CDs, I buy them in bulks and I have it separate. So I try to have it like in a separate batch, if that makes sense. So that's how I make the videos and things of that nature. So these are CDs that I copped a couple months ago. So just want to show you guys some of these. Like I said, I got a lot more. Alright, the first album I want to show you guys is Saigon with the Greatest Story Never Told. This is his studio debut album, his authentic studio debut or major label debut album. I don't count like Warning Shots or like joints like that, because those are like more like street albums, like independent joints. But like official release and stuff, like even though those came out on a major on stores, but it wasn't like promoted like that. So this is an album that's been in the making since 2005. Story with this: Saigon, again, up and coming rapper in the mixtape game. He got put on. He came out like around 2001, the early 2000s. Was making noise from the mixtapes. That's what he was known for. And at the time, him and Papoose was making noise. In the mid 2000s, like from 04 and up. Up to like 07. You know what I mean? Because those to me were like their prime years, in my personal opinion. It was highly anticipated. He was supposed to come out with this album back in 2007. It got pushed back several times due to like sample clearances, Atlantic Records, when he was under at the time, not giving him creative control, things like that, and things of that nature. And that's what made this album delayed so many times. So finally, this album came out in 2011. By the way, this how it came. When I bought it, the store I went to, they had this, but it's supposed to be like a clear spine, but I have to try to find a clear spine one of these days. I'm not sure when, but anyways, getting back to this album, man. It finally came out in 2011, and let me tell you, this is a modern day classic. I fucking love this album. You know what I mean? Way better than my Papoose Nasarima Dream. That was trash. That was so disappointed. If that album, if Papoose's album came out, back in the late 2000s that it was supposed to come out, I think it would have been a lot better. The production would have been a lot better, but that's my personal opinion. But the singles off this album was "Come On Baby," which was like the first single of the album that came out like in 2007. "Gotta Believe It," "Gotta Believe It." Let's see what else. "Bring Me Down," and "The Greatest Story Never Told." Overall, man, dope fucking album. I highly recommend it. You got songs like "Enemies," "Friends," the self-titled track, as I mentioned before, "Clap" featuring Faith Evans, that was dope. "Preacher," that's my favorite song off the album. Love that joint. "It's Alright" with Marsha Ambrosius of Floetry fame, fucking dope. The whole album you could listen through without skipping a track. So that's how dope this shit is, man. But yeah, "Greatest Story Never Told" by Saigon, released in 2011. Dope shit right here. Highly recommended. Alright. Next album, KRS-One with "Digital." This was released in 2004. This is pretty much a compilation album of songs that he did back in the 90s to early 2000s. It's pretty much like a whole bunch of B-sides and like B-sides, white label, 12 inches, and like features and stuff like that. He was featured on it, like exclusive songs and things, like new songs that never made it to to the masses and things like that. This was okay. This is not too bad. My favorite songs I like the song "Tell the Devil Hi," that was pretty good. "When the Moon," that was pretty good. "From Mia," that was pretty dope. Featuring Channel Live, that was actually featured on his self-titled albums I did before. Did a review on. "Bring It to the Cipher," featuring Chuck Turner, that was pretty good. Let's see what else. The Article remix with Mad Lion, Whitey Don, and Shelly Thunder. It's kind of like a ragga hip hop type of joint. That was pretty good. Remember was pretty cool. Um, Hip Hop versus Rap. That was pretty dope. That was actually, I believe that was the B side to either the Mortal Kombat joint or Sound of the Police, but it came out around like the Return of the Boom Bap era. That was a pretty dope joint right there. Whoop Whoop, the Showbiz remix, that was pretty cool. And yeah, that was yeah, pretty much it, man. Has 20 tracks. It was released on the X-Ray Records. Yeah, so this was okay. It's not too bad. I've heard other joints that was like white labeled that to me were a lot better than some of these songs on this compilation album. But if you're a KRS-One fan, you're a fan of his 90s stuff and his early 2000s stuff, then definitely pick it up if you can find it. I know this is out of print, so. Alright, next album I'm gonna show you is Snoop Doggy Dog with the Death Row Session, Death Row The Lost Sessions, Volume 1, released in 2009. The story with this compilation is that just like Dead Man Walking, it's pretty much songs that he did between the Doggy Style era sessions and the Dogfather era. So it was released by Wide Awake Entertainment Group, which was the company that owned Death Row Records, and their primary goal was to release like all the unreleased albums that that Death Row Records had shelved. So this is pretty much an example of that, but this is like pretty much like leftover tracks from the first two albums, like I said before. Pretty good. And they put out a couple other joints, like they put out OFTB. They made an album from Death Row back in like '96, I think. It was called Damn Near Dead, which they did put out a proper release. Up until today, I didn't know that LBC Crew actually put out an album. They made an album in '96, but it never. Let me turn that down. Sorry about that. Yeah. So LBC Crew put out an album they made an album in '96. It was supposed to come out in '96, but I forgot the name of it, but it didn't come out, and which is unfortunate. But they did put it out. They put that album out, but on CD, but the album was out of print. So good luck trying to find that. But yeah, this album, like I said before, leftover tracks from the first two albums. I mean, pretty dope stuff. You got songs like Doggy Style, Falling Asleep on Death Row, Eat a Dick, OG, Caught Up was pretty good, Gravy Train, Gotta Do Wrong. Yeah, pretty good stuff right here. I prefer that over that Dead Man Walking nonsense. That was trash. I mean, he had some decent songs, but it wasn't like crazy and shit like that. But yeah, this was like a Best Buy exclusive, so it's like one of those things. But yeah, really enjoyed this album. Fucking dope shit right here. I'm like I said before, I'm a sucker for like like unreleased demos and things like that. So this is definitely dope. This is Snoop Doggy Dog with Death Row The Lost Sessions, released in 2009. And then there was another company that owned Wide Awake Entertainment Group. They actually went bankrupt, so that's why like you haven't seen any more of these releases, so that kind of thing. But yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. Pretty cool. Alright, next album is D.O.C. with the debut album, No One Can Do It Better. This came out in 1989. I know this is an album I should have had a while back, but it's like one of those albums that I used to see every once in a while, but I never picked it up because I had the digital. And it's like, when I tried to find it, I couldn't find it. It was a little hard to find. But lo and behold, I found it, so I got it. So, what better way, right? This album is known for 4 singles. It's Funky Enough, the D.O.C. and the Doctor, the Formula, fucking love that joint, and Mind Blown. Those are the singles of the album. Excuse me, sorry about that. Classic album, man. This is fucking dope. This is before he lost his voice due to his his car accident back in like 91 or 90. I think it was 91 when he got to that car accident, which is unfortunate. Like his career hasn't been the same since. He put out a couple albums after that. He put out Helter Skelter in 96, which I do have. Has like more of a horrorcore kind of feel to it, and like the beats are kind of dark on it. It was a decent album, but again, it was like hard to listen to. It was like sad to listen to just because of his voice and that kind of thing. So, but getting back to this album, dope. He definitely was one of those cats that had a promising career. He just had that, even though he was part of NWA, but he was more an affiliate. But I always felt like he was part of NWA. But yeah, man, dope album. You got songs like I said, It's Funky Enough, Mind Blown, Beautiful but Deadly was pretty dope. D.O.C. and the Doctor, the self-titled track was fucking dope. Formula, Portrait of a Masterpiece, and Grand Finale. Whew, dope posse cut, dope shit right there. So yeah, D.O.C. with No One Could Do It Better. This is released in 1989. Dope shit. All right, next album is B.G. with Chopper City in the Ghetto. This was released in 1989. Fucking dope album. This is his fourth album. Pretty dope stuff. I really enjoyed this album. Cash Money, man. I mean, there's shit like, a lot of people, the thing with Cash Money, they get such bad flack for, the obvious, pen and pixel album covers, same thing with No Limit. But those two labels, man, in the 90s, man, they were making noise, man, and they talk some real street shit. That's the shit I like. It's like, the production might be like flush and digital and clean and crispy and crystal clear, but they talk some real shit, like that real street gutter, drug shit, you know what I mean? So, but a lot of people unfortunately don't, really give them a chance. But this album right here goes hard. Known for singles, Bling Bling was like the biggest single of the album, and Cash Money's the Army. Love that song. That beat, whew. Yeah, man. I mean, you got songs like Trigger Play, that was pretty dope. Cash Money's the Army, Playing It Raw, Made Man, Bling Bling, obviously, Knockout, Real Niggas, Dog Ass, Cash Money Roll. I was just playing that the other day on my way to work. That shit was hard. Thuggin', Hard Times, woo! That's it, yeah. Uptown My Home, By My Pay. This whole album is fucking dope. Really enjoyed this album. Unfortunately, this album is out of print. It goes for a little bit of money. I've seen it go for as much as like $15 online, maybe more. But a lot of this stuff is out of print, so which is sad because BG, this him and Juvenile's always been my favorite members of Cash Money. I feel like they make the most gutter, music out of the whole crew. You know what I mean? But yeah, BG with Chopper City in the Ghetto, released in 1999. I need to get more of his albums, like the Checkmate album that came in 2000. That's out of print. It's All On You, Volume 1 and 2. Definitely get my hands on those. So, but yeah, dope album. Next album is an R&B album, but I just had to get it because it was just there and it was cheap. Well, that's the last of the Daytona Beach. Because those first 5 I went to Daytona Beach and I went digging out there and then found those albums. So that was pretty much it. Alright, next album is an R&B album. It's a classic, you know what I mean? And it is Toni Braxton with her debut self-titled debut album released in 1993. Toni Braxton. Sorry about that. Yeah, pretty dope album. Dope R&B shit right here. This album was making noise back in the early 90s, man, like 93, 94, you know what I mean? The singles the album was known for is Another Sad Love Song. That song was pretty big back in the day. Breathe Again, 7 Whole Days, You Mean the World to Me, and I Belong to You. Those are the singles of the album. Yeah, this is a pretty good album, man. It's just straight to the chase, very melodic. It has like that signature Babyface production. His Babyface production is very lush. It's just like loyalty. You know what I mean? And it's just so dope, man. I really, really enjoy his production. Even the shit that he did for like TLC back in the day. Yeah, pretty much. You know what you just getting yourself into when it comes to Babyface. But yeah, pretty good stuff right here. I do have a second album, Secrets, that came out in '96 with the song "Unbreak My Heart." Everybody knows that song. So, but yeah, Toni Braxton with the self-titled album released in 1999. Excuse me, '93. Excuse me, sorry. Next album is a like new metal album, but it's a classic. You know what I mean? It is Limp Biscuit with the second album, Significant Other, released in 1999. Sidebar: this is the album that I already have, but I at the time I wasn't really too crazy about the keeping the cases. I would just have the CD case, and I'll just put the CD in the booklet. But now that I'm a collector now, I've always been a collector, but just now me being OCD when it comes to stuff like that, I just had to buy the whole album. But yeah, dope fucking album. Is known for 4 singles, Nookie, Break Stuff, Rearrange, and Together Now. I mean, this is a fucking dope album, man. In my opinion, their best album, in my personal opinion. Although I do have their first song, $3 Bill, Yo, which is pretty dope. Very underrated album, in my opinion. But this album to me was their breakthrough album. In my personal opinion, is what got them into that whole MTV crowd, that kind of thing. I believe Break Stuff was actually featured. I want to say, was it no? Or I think it was. Hold up, let me see. It was one of the songs that was featured on Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 that came out the same year. I think it came out in 2000. But funny story with the song "And Together Now" with Method Man. Originally, Fred Durst came up to Primo. He's like, "Yo, I want a track for you." And he's like, "Nah, I don't want to give you. You whack." You know what I'm saying? So to convince Primo to give him a track, he actually I think he did a freestyle, and he was talking about the mixtapes that Primo was putting out in the mid to late '90s, the Crooked Cuts. And he was so impressed. He was like, "Yo, how do you know about Crooked Cuts? That's a insider kind of underground thing." It's yo, he's been following, he's been a fan of him since, and because of his knowledge of his mixtapes, he gave him the beat. So I thought that was a pretty interesting story with that. But the songs I fuck with, like I said, Nookie, Break Stuff, Just Like This was pretty good. Rearrange, I'm Broke, which originally I'm Broke was supposed to be on $3 Bill, y'all, but it didn't make it, so they put it on this album. Nobody Like You, Don't Go Off Wandering, And Together Now, fucking love that joint. Trust, No Sex, Show Me What You Got, A Lesson Learned. I mean, the whole album is fucking dope. It's an album I can listen through, front to back, fucking dope. I haven't heard this album in years, since I got it. So, but yeah, pretty good, very refreshing to listen to. This is a Significant Other by Limp Bizkit, second album released in 1999. Alright, you got 3 more. Alright, next album is Nice and Smooth with Ain't a Dang Thing Changed. This is the second album. This was released in 1991. Pretty dope album. Known for singles Hip Hop Junkie, Kick and Eat It Too, Sometimes I'm Slow, and How to Flow. Those are the singles of the album. Dope album. Fucking love this shit right here. Definitely brings me back to my childhood days. This came out in 91, so I was 4 years old at the time. So yeah, I mean, you got songs like Harmonize, that was fucking dope. Down the Line, which is a dope posse cut with it uses the same sample as Manifest by Gangstar. Fucking love that joint. Sometimes Around Slow, which is I believe the Tracy Chapman sample, and I think they got sued for that. I think How to Flow, Hip Hop Junkies, Pump It Up. I mean, dope album. I need to get more of the albums. I need to get the first album, the self-titled album that came out in '89. I already have the Jewel of the Nile album, which I think was a dope album, very underrated in my opinion. My favorite album for them. And I need to get their that For Uptown Connection album that came out in '97. I think that's what it's called. But that goes for a lot of money online. It's very expensive. It's out of print. So, but yeah. And I want to give a shout out to my guy Freddie Lugo. He blessed me with this CD. So shout out to him for that. You know what I mean? Forgot to shout him out in the beginning, but yeah, just had to throw it out there. So shout out to Freddie Lugo for blessing me with this. Nice and smooth. With anything can change. Released on '91. And yes, I know D.O.C and the Mad Circle came out with that album as well with the same title, but instead of thing, it's dang. So just had to throw that out there. All right, these last two, and that's pretty much it for the video. Undone by the Roots. This was released in 2011. Excuse me. This is their 10th album. The story with this album was that this is the year that they got got hired by the show with Jimmy Fallon, the night show with Jimmy Fallon. They got approached by NBC. They got hired, and they were told that they had to make, I think, like 3 to 7 songs a day. And so like some of those songs that they did for them, they actually it actually landed on this album and that kind of thing. And also they were able to have like more creative control on this album. And I think this was like the last time they did on the Def Jam. So yeah, pretty good album. You know, it's a conceptual album too, by a cat named Redford Stevens, who, like, you know, pretty much lived the pretty much lived the streets, you know, put in the work. He ended up dying, that kind of thing. So there's only one single of the album. The song is Make Mine, featuring Big Crit and Dice Raw, which was actually pretty good. But yeah, man, pretty good album. I hope you enjoyed this album. You got songs like Sleep, Make Mine was pretty dope. The Other Side, Stomp, Lighthouse, I remember. Tip the Scale, that was pretty good. And the last 4, like Redford for Yeah Papu, Possibility, Will of Power, and Finality. Was it a Finale? I think that's what it's called. Was with, like, you know, instrumentals and things like that. But yeah, Undone by the Roots, released in 2011. And then the last album is Linear Labs, Los Angeles. This was pretty much a collaboration album between Adriane Younge and Ali Shaheed Muhammad of Tribe Called Quest. This is pretty much like a compilation album of songs that they collaborated together on different albums. Pretty much the whole album is fucking dope. If you guys are familiar with Adriane Younge, with his production, he's fucking dope. Pretty much his stuff is like, you know, it has like that like late '60s, you know, film score kind of feel to it. You know, like the blaxploitation, kind of espionage. You know, just like action flicks from like those from that era of like the late '60s, '70s. Kind of has that feel. So, yeah, it's pretty fucking dope. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed that CD collection. I know it's not the most amazing shit in the world, but you know, I got more stuff. So, but just had to throw that out there. And that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely stay tuned for more. All right, peace.